Hey guys, how you doing? Dan here again with Dan's 30-foot dory build. Today is Sunday, it's Father's Day. It has just finished raining about 30 minutes ago, and they said it was going to rain around 10, and I don't know how they do it, but it rained around 10 for about a half an hour. So the sun is out now roasting everything that has gotten wet, and the sun is just naturally hot at this time of the season, so great. So I've set up the tarp here, as you can see. Some 2x4s, some panels here to help keep the tarp up and the sun out. Just to make life a little easier. I got my resin set up right here in front of me. I've got my resin bucket. I collect ice cream buckets for almost anything. I just stack them up. Great idea. If you're using a certain percentage of resin as you go, mark it on your bucket so you can at least take the resin and pour it in to that level, and then just apply the amount of hardener you need, knowing how many shots of resin you got in your bucket. I learned that when I did the rest of the boat the other day. I measured out 16 pumps, and that saved me pushing the plunger down on this sucker is hard. It takes a lot of work to push it down, and after 16 pumps, goes down, comes up, takes a lot of time. So I had to make time. So I took this off and poured it in after that, knowing where the marks are for 16 pumps. And then all I had to do is take the epoxy hardener here and just simply put in 8 pumps. And the hardener comes out like water. Well, maple syrup, okay? So that's what I learned. Another thing I didn't learn, but another thing I didn't do, is I didn't prep everything as well as I wanted to. I was walking around the boat picking up stuff over here to go back over there, or I'd come over here and leave stuff over there. So I did a lot of running around I technically didn't have to do. Okay, so today I've got everything set up here. Everything's right here. My resin is here. My glass is hanging off the front of the boat here. And I'm gonna do something here. I was gonna use this 3-inch wide 6mm ribbon. Originally, I bought this after talking to the fella at the shop, and what he suggested I do is I cut out my pieces and lay this all around the edges first, because that would reduce your chance of lifting. You know, like going right over the edge would reduce the chance of lifting. But after calculating my position and being by myself, as you already know, with no help, it's okay, I changed my methods. I threw the material across the boat. So I actually didn't have to use this now. So it's not a wasted $45. I can still use this. And where I'm going to use it today is that my stem here is very pointy. I rounded it off as much as I could, but it's pointy. So what I'm going to do is I've cut several strips of this ribbon, and I actually stapled the first one on there and then buried my staples to hold that first run. And then the next run is going to be on the side, on both sides. And then my fourth run is going to go back down the middle to cap it. So I'll end up with 4 strips protecting the stem. Now, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So why I'm doing that is that when I bring this material and roll out the 9 feet to the front of the stem here, I'm not going to be fiberglassing it over that edge. I'm going to fiberglass it to the edge here, right on the face. And I believe that's going to save me a lot of trouble. So the only thing I can see running into is when I actually bring my material to here, I'll have to trim off a big chunk over here, and hopefully I'll be able to do that with the least amount of difficulty. Now my plan is also to lay up both pieces at the same time. Because when I started the project, my first two pieces went in one at a time, and I did a lot of running. I did a lot of rolling, and it burnt me out. So by the time I got to piece number 3 and 4, I just got brave, and I put two pieces of the 6-ounce mat together that were going to go in that area. I laid them both down, squared them up, and I noticed if you walk away from it for 10 minutes, it actually flattens out real quick. It's really nice to spread out. There's no bumps in it, as long as you don't push it here and pull it. You have to keep your hand on the other side. You can push it out like this. You can push it out, and this is virtually flat now. Look at that. It does lay itself out. As long as you don't tug on it. It's really easy to pull on it. You just got to take your time and keep yourself thinking what you're doing. So I'm going to leave this strip here. I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3. Now, that's my strips for my stem. I hope I'm getting the names right. As I mentioned, I'm using a 6-inch wide foam roller. I was watching YouTube this morning, and a fellow was in a professional shop building larger boats out of wood. He had a regular size roller, and he had a 4 or 5-inch roller, the regular dimension on it, diameter. But the foam on it was only 1/8 of an inch or so thick. So what he's saying is that if you're using a foam roller like this, for instance, it gets too loaded up with resin. It soaks up the resin, and you lose a little resin. This roller also, if you push too hard on it, little chunks come off it. So don't be aggressive if you're using a roller like this, a 6-inch foam roller. This is about I don't know, 3/8 thick. So his roller was very, very, very thin, and he was running out samples on how to finish the surface on a fiberglass finished boat. And it was really good to watch, because you don't know everything. So now I know a little bit more. So I'm passing this information on to you, okay? So if you decide to do this and you go for foam, this is not the best thing to use, even though it's working for me. Get the regular size roller with the thinner foam on it. It just rolls out better, supposedly. I'm not going to argue with them. I liked it, so that's what I'm suggesting to you. Meanwhile, this is what I have. This is what I've purchased. I've had, I think I got 20 rollers, and I used about 6 or 7 out of the 20 to get this far. I've gone 25 feet on this boat, by 6 foot on the bottom, by 8'4" on the gunwale. So they work. They work. I don't mind the 6-inch versus the 12-inch, is it? It's just more roller to have to try to control. This one sort of lets me focus on that area, and it doesn't let me get ahead of myself. So that being said, so I am going to go ahead here, and I'm going to mix up some epoxy. A small word about my last video. I did take my iPhone and I videotaped off my iPad with the iPhone, and then I took it from the iPhone and put it on my YouTube channel. I had a lot of problems videoing the fiberglassing on this job, and I couldn't figure out why my phone was telling me it wasn't working. I think one video which I loaded was only 10 minutes. It's crappy, I'm sorry, but at least I gave you something to look at. And then the worst part of that is, as soon as I started fiberglassing, applying the resin, it was only like 2 minutes worth of video, and then it cut out. That was my iPad. So I didn't know this, okay? If you take something on your phone and you delete it, you got to go in the phone and delete what you deleted to get your space back. So my phone was telling me that I had no space left. And for 2 hours, I'm sitting there looking at this, wondering what the heck to do, because the phone's never done this before. So I'm playing around with the buttons, and then I hit a section after I got into general, and I'm looking, and then something comes up telling me you're at full capacity. Do you want to eliminate? Do you want to delete your deletes? And it took me a second to figure this out and went, no way. So I hit delete. It took about 3 or 4 seconds, then bang. And all of a sudden my space on my bar went from nothing to 3/4. So, okay. So that's why I didn't get good video, and that's why the phone didn't work the other day. If you delete something, go inside your phone and delete it out of its, out of the banks, out of its system altogether. You get your space back. Okay, so I went from 128 gigabyte, and then after I deleted my deletes, it went down to 51. Wouldn't you know? I'm not a tech guy. So I just thought I'd share that with you as bad as I feel about it. Okay, so today I'm going to move on here. I just explained what I was going to do. I'm going to let the phone go and enjoy, watch, make a comment. There's a fella, Joe Tex, out there. Joe, how you doing? And a big Matt also. These two fellas dropped comments on my blog there, and I want to thank them very much. They've been very kind to me as far as encouragement and telling me that they like what they're seeing and please post more. And Big Matt and Joe Tex are the two people I've had respond so far as texting me any information is concerned. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Now I'm going to take another chance here. I have now 67 subscribers. Every time I turn around and mention it, I go back in to load a video, and I have another subscriber. So I'm one behind. So right now I'm at 67. I'd like to thank that individual for hopping aboard. And I hope people, again, are getting something out of this. I'm not a professional boat builder. I've mentioned it. I have never built a boat before. In the late 80s and the early 90s, I was in a 14-foot fiberglass sailboat company that built them, and I did a lot of resin work there. They laid it out. We just pushed the rollers type of thing. So I had some experience behind me that I remembered from back then. But, you know, I was so nervous the other day when I came out to start this job. I actually stood there with the resins in front of me. The bucket was there. The roller was in my hand. And this is what you didn't see in the video because it didn't work. And I stood there and I looked at the boat and I contemplated not doing it. I got scared, right? A lot of money here involved. So money is a big thing with me, okay? I'm sorry. I don't have any of it. So anyway, and then I turned around and I said, well, you know what? I'm going to put on the transom first, and I'll see how that goes. It's only a small area. And by the time I finished rolling out the transom, let's go for it. I just got into it, and yeah, I got 25 feet down the boat, and I was so happy. So let's go for it. I'm going to pump out, I'm going to go for four, I'm going to go for four and 2, 4 and, what am I, 16, 8, 4 and 2. Always make sure you're pumping out the right one. Must be warmer out here today. That resin came out really nice. It's it takes a little bit to get that to get the plunger to come back up. Because I just screwed up. The reason why the resin was flowing well is just the hardener. So now I got to go 8 pumps of resin in order to get this mix right. I marked the bottles. I should mark the bottles again. I marked them 1 and 2 so it wouldn't get mixed up. Looks like I didn't help myself here. I haven't even started doing anything yet. Okay, so you got to push them all the way down and let them come all the way up. Now there you go. This is my first batch. I got way more than I need, so I guess I'll be able to put all my strips on without mixing any more resin. Now they say to mix this stuff up for at least 2 minutes, which is fine. Now what I'm also going to do is I'm going to mix a little bit when I roll this out. When I go to roll this out, I'm going to pre-wet the wood where I'm going to put the side strips in, just to make it a lot easier to apply the strips. Since they're small strips, I'd love to do that with the large strips, but there's nobody here to help me roll that material out. Or I can try to roll the front half, roll the material out, and then come back, lift it, and roll it back. All kinds of things you can do. You just gotta make sure you got it figured out how to do it right. And right means doing it without screwing up. Am I allowed to say that? I got a few favorite words I like to use when I start to get stressed out, and I don't think it's very nice to use them when you're doing a video. So I'm really watching my language, actually. I've seen a couple of videos where that's all the guy would do. He's just swearing right through his video, and I kind of thought, boy, you know, like, that's a little rough. To each our own. Mind you, I didn't watch him very long. I couldn't handle the language anymore. It was just too much. Oh. So you're getting this in real time, okay? As usual. A friend of mine's given me a different phone, and supposedly it's going to be able to handle a download app that will actually allow me to edit footage on the phone and take certain pieces out you really don't need to see, like me disappearing for 30 seconds to go get something and then coming back and continuing. I was at work the other day. Those guys, I work at the Executive Flight Center. Great place to work. I've been there 9 years. I refuel aircraft down there for Alberta Health Service. And it's a good job for me. And they're following me on my blog at work. You know, like a couple of boys there came down to do a truck swap last week. And the one lad looked at me and went, "Yeah, you know, we saw your video. Really funny." And I thought, well, thank you very much, right? And it feels really weird that I got all these people watching the video at the other end of the airport, at our other location, where we're based. Telling me they're watching my videos. I don't know. It should be the same as anybody else. It just feels a little weird that, you know, north side of the airport, guys are watching my videos. Okay, so I'm just going to tip it a bit, just get it wet, just so the resin starts to take. Now I find with this here, if you get too aggressive, I find you really got to push one way a lot before you start rolling back and forth with it. And this is where, see that? Just like that. Now, I also notice that people are applying this on their boats, and they're getting lots of runs. Guys, the secret to not leaving runs behind is to saturate your material and roll the dickens out of it. I mean, roll the dickens out of it. Give it and go one way. So a little planning there is a good thing. So that's going down nice. See that? Chase your runs. Just chase those runs down. This is going down pretty good. I'm just trying to use enough resin to soak it enough so it grabs and it just turns clear. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta hit it with that. Hit it good. Just hit it good. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. It's going down. Oh. Go. No, I got a bump there. I don't know what. I think it's a staple, to be honest with you. Where is it? Yep, staple, all right. Okay, that's the first one in. Let's go for it. Whoa, same one. Let's go for a second. kind of loaded up a little bit. Just blows right through the mesh. You gotta roll it. It's going down pretty good. Okay, that piece is in. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pre-roll the other side a little more, because I found that it took a lot better if I had. There we go. Didn't have to. Not going to take that much. There we go. May have to. Okay, cutting it close. I should have just enough left to put in. Whoops. And I'm not wearing my gloves. You notice that? I just noticed that. I brought gloves and I'm not using them. Well, I'm going to put them on right now. Well, you should have seen me the other day. I had resin. After rolling it out, I had resin. Whoa. All over me, my arm here. Some of it came off in sheets. I have a tendency of resting. You know, you're working and your arm hits the material like that. And this glove's no good now. Okay, I'll have to go get another pair, excuse me. Good, Ruby. I should have brought these out with me. Little things, right? I should have a little bit of pirate music going while I'm working. I know that some people put music in their videos. Sometimes I find it's too much. And some videos they put music on and you hear the music and you have trouble listening to what they're saying. I don't know if they pick up on that after or not. I'm leaving the material fairly close to the upper edge. That's where I need it to be the strongest. There. See, that was okay. That went good. A little pre resining. Yeah, I just dropped my roller there. Okay, I'm gonna have to mix up some more, so I'm gonna do that right away. Okay, so this is the hardener. I don't want to screw that up again there. Epoxy resin for 4. 1. I gotta wait until that you decompress it. It decompresses. It takes 10 seconds, 12 seconds. And you gotta wait until it goes all the way up because it's all pre-measured inside the pump, right? And you gotta take your time going down with it, because if you don't, you're gonna crush the can, the plastic jug. That's for 2. We're going for 4. That went pretty good on the front. Once the front's done, the rest of it's a piece of cake. It's all open rolling. 3. So they call this clear laminating epoxy resin. So I guess if you scratch it out and sand it and put another coat on, it can get to the point where you see the wood, not the mesh, right? Okay, that was 4. That's 1. That's quick. 2. All right, let's stir it up. Now, if you got resin in your bucket and you're stirring it up this fast, the stuff in the bucket just breaks down and mixes in with it. It doesn't go hard while you're mixing in the bucket, which I like. I don't want to have to go through 50 buckets just, to mix up resin. Okay, so the only piece I got left to do is the center piece again, which will give me my 2 layers of 6 mil. Obviously, the area over the edge will be 1, 2, 3, and then the other one is 2. So 2, 3, and 1, and then the sheet goes on. Okay, I'm just trying to focus on what I'm doing here, guys. I think I've already said too much. Okay, I'm gonna go lay out this last strip. Okay, you see the way that's slipping off down there? That's why I use a staple. Now, obviously, if you had somebody helping you, you wouldn't have to fight with that particular thing as much. It's going in. It's going in. I almost got her down here. See, on the ends here, you have to roll out. If you try to roll back on it, you're asking for trouble. It just doesn't work. Okay, we got it. We got it here. Okay. Now, we got that good. Now I'm gonna take a shot of rolling this over. Hopefully I don't get into trouble. Don't do that. Okay, so it's shifting already. It's starting to shift on me. Okay. Okay, so okay. 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 Gonna do it again, boys. Okay. Okay, the roller's gone. Number one. I got a feeling I might get in trouble with that. We'll find out. Takes time. This is the part where it takes you the longest, just trying to get it out. I'll have to mark the can and pop it off. This will be number 8. I'm going for 10. I tell you, when it's raining, and when the sun comes out, it's just pure hell. It's 9. Okay, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully that'll do it. As I mentioned on my other video, so far it's taken me 3 gallons and 10 ounces to get to the 25-foot mark here. So I figure it's going to take me probably 4 gallons to complete the whole boat. And I bought 12 gallons, so I was shocked. I was shocked when I realized I got as far as I did with 3 gallons. I just assumed the size of the boat and the size of the resin jars. I thought, nah, there's no way. So I'm going to have a lot left over to make a choice of either put another coat over what I've done, or just save it and use it on the inside of the boat. Now hopefully I don't get into trouble here. Now I'm loading it up because I find it saturates a lot better if you load it up and then you come back and roll it out a bit. The rolling game. Look at that. That was a no-no. Okay, let's try this again. See, this is going to take the longest part, is pushing this stuff out. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to pull that out. Okay, I'm going to leave this here for now. Okay, so that's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm happy if you're happy. Okay. That's piece number one. Let's see how the second piece goes down. That's gonna be fun now. I know I said I was gonna put them down together, but that wrinkling in the corner got me a little scared. There's enough resin in there to sink a battleship. And these gloves are not easy to put on. So now I'm getting a little crazy. Ruby seems to be handling it pretty good. She's relaxing there. Okay, come on. I think my wife bought me one size too small. I need XXL. She ordered these for me. Thank God, the poor woman. She tries. Okay, here we go. Roller's starting to chip out. Too much pressure on the roller. do that. Okay. Third roller costing me here. Get a couple more here. Just got to get this one. So I can't do the other side today, simply because I just don't have the material. Which is unfortunate, kind of speaking. Kind of lost it here a little way. I got that one out, thank God. Yeah. No, out, out. Good girl, go sit. You gotta go sit down. Go sit down. Go, 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 go. Too much crap under my feet. Okay, you guys following me here? Okay. Where's my new? I go through these like crazy. I start using them. I almost got it down. First, you got to go through a little bit of craziness first. I wish these gloves were the right size. I can feel the seconds squeezing by on me. No apologies here. I'm just trying to get it down. Okay. Gotta put this back in here now. Don't need as much as I thought I did before. Okay. So keep on checking what this is, resin. Okay. I should have checked on the video to see if you're actually still working. Because every time I talk and I find out the video didn't take, I feel like another dummy. 2, come on. 3. I'm gonna check, guys. I must have done something right. The video's still working, so yeah. Remember, when you delete something, go into your system and delete it from the system. Because if you don't, you're still taking up space. And that's gonna hurt you more than anything else. I assume when you delete something, it's deleted, and it's not. It's still in your memory. You got to go back inside and actually delete it. Hey, you learn something every day, right? When I bought this phone, it was 128 gig, and that was pretty high. Now I think they're up to 210. It's crazy. It's crazy. That material's still soaking in resin there. It's still soaking up the resin from the other sheet. Now, I find it harder to put one sheet after the other. I do find this harder. Because when you start pulling on it, you don't want to pull what's underneath it loose, right? And you can very easily. Now you can tell if the products are getting through. Obviously, when the sheeting is still white. When you're doing your edges like that, what I'm doing is I'm not just rolling straight, I'm actually rolling forward and to the right, pulling the material. I notice that I don't do that, it gathers on the edges. That's no good. You keep on rolling. So, get that resin in there. Okay, so I end up with 3 layers right here. I end up with 4 layers here. And I end up with no air in that area caught underneath the material. I truly believe the secret is don't stop rolling. Now, since this is the front, okay, so this is basically 2 sheets in. Now the front here gets trimmed back about an inch and a half, because obviously it's gone long. Now I used 4 rollers on here. I should have only used 2, but I'm pressing hard. It's hot. It's humid. You stay there, Ruby. Good girl. Chill out. You stay there. Come around the other side. I've had dogs all my life. She's a German Shepherd purebred. She lost her leg in a car accident. And if she's not near me, she starts to get a little bad mood, I guess. Not because of the leg, just that's what I think. These German Shepherds sometimes, they all have different characteristics. So there you go. That's another roller down the tube. I haven't used this many rollers. I use about 2 rollers per section. I guess I used 4 on this one. I'm pressing hard. Okay, so I'm gonna take these gloves off. I'm gonna use my fingers here. I'm gonna put a little bit of extra protection here, coming off the front, I think. I have the material, I might as well do it. Okay. 4 brushes left, 4 rollers left. Just when you need a little bit more, eh? Just going to grab a bit more in here. Just a smidgen. You sit down there, Ruby. Be a good girl. I'm going to go for 2 pumps, 1 hardener. Stir it up, and that should be enough to put the rest of it. You see, the material keeps on soaking the stuff up. Now, I don't have any runs. Okay, now I can say it. I don't have any runs. You just got to roll it out. Now, if you turn around and roll this stuff on and move on and don't look back, your resin's going to settle. It's going to start running. I see a lot of YouTubers and they're fiberglassing, probably maybe for the first time. They're loading the resin on and they're letting it, you know, they're working here, but they're letting it drip down the side of the boat. I think that's uncalled for. And the result is that you'll have hardened resin creating lines on your boat. And if you're going with a wood finish, not that I am, if you're going with a wood finish, you're going to see that line in there. You can't get rid of it. It's hard. It's really hard to get rid of. Really hard. So, due diligence. Hey, you see that top piece is already totally soaked up. It's just sucking that stuff up. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I know if you add this here, this is going to have a line in here. It's going to be thicker. You can figure that out. I'm not too weird about it at all. So there you go. Kind of all done. Putting it a little heavier on that edge here because it's flat. Okay, awesome. Okay. I got a bit of resin left. I'm just going to roll it out here. Check the other side. This side's still good. Always say, use it, don't lose it. Now, if you like comedy, I would like to hold a moment of silence, please, for all the little insects that were so interested in seeing what I was doing. They came and never left. You know what I mean? Thank you. Yeah, I'm done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this tarp off, let the sun get to it, and bing, bang, bing, bong, I think the way they say it. Bing a bang, bing a bong. I'm just using up the rest of my resin here instead of losing it in the bucket. Okay, I'm going to say that you doing it this method here, I used 1, 2, 3, 4 rollers. That was ridiculous. I should have only used 2, maybe 3 at the most, with 2 layers on at the same time. Okay, I'm going to call it done. So that's real time, I'm done. We're going to call that 2 layers of 6-ounce mat. That was 9 feet in length. And I have here underneath the edge here, I've got that much material I got to cut off after it's flipped over. So all my edges are going to be perfectly done. Man, these got to weigh at least 3 pounds, 4 pounds. I've got lots of stuff left over. Really good stuff. I like the stuff. You know, you work with it, you see if you like it, you got to give it a chance, you got to get used to using it. And that's all there is to it. Now what I might do here, definitely not going to happen today, but I might take this and go around the edge, the bottom edge of the boat, and do the whole radius with this on a different day. I won't videotape that. I don't think I'll videotape that. I mean, I could just for the fun of it. But I basically just do what I just did there. It just makes it a little heavier on that edge. Now I've got 4 layers of 6-ounce glass on that edge, which is great. We're 3 here, 4 here, and I'll only have 2 here. I could always just go around and, why waste it, right? So there you go, guys. I'm going to put a glove on and pick up the camera for a minute. I'm going to get you a little closer to the work job, the job site here. And just to let you see a little bit what's going on. I have this tarp pinned up by 2x4s. All kinds of trouble. Okay, so excuse me for the bumpy ride. So here we go. This is a, sorry about that, this is a very long video, but let's just say it's, what's going on here? Come on. Let's just say I kind of tried to make up for the other day on this video. Sorry guys, I know. You're getting bounced around like crazy. Oh, sorry. There you go. Again, too many sorries, eh? Now here's another one. It wasn't supposed to be sunny today. It wasn't supposed to be sunny. It's supposed to be raining all day. Ruby. Yeah, good and hot again. Craziness. I don't know. Can't tell what the weather is in this province. Okay, here we go. I'll give you a half decent shot of it. Bloody sunny. Sunny, sunny, sunny. Look at that. Okay, well, unfortunately, I still got to do the other side. I'll have to pick up material for that, another 18 feet. And this boat will be totally fiberglassed. And I'll give you a real quick shot on the other side here. I don't know how well you'll see that with the sun beaking down on us. No, I don't see anything, but maybe you do. All I have to do is scuff all that up there and just continue fiberglassing. Okay guys, there we go. Another fiberglassing job done. Nice day. I wish I had that other 18 feet and get her done. I just wanted to show you guys, Ruby, get out of there. Just wanted to show you what I'm going through over here. I mean, somebody you know, I know that. But I just had to let somebody see what I'm going through. And this is basically what I'm going through here. So, 67 subscribers, thank you very much. I can't say it any more than that. I'll just repeat myself. And if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Or the likes are nice, but please subscribe. Your comments will be appreciated. If you want to leave a comment, go ahead. Joe Tex and Big Matt, a shout out for you guys for texting back and forth, leaving me messages, and I'll try to answer your questions. And if you have more, please go ahead and ask me. This is like Dan's 30-foot dory bell. Done. Thank you very much. Have a good day. And until the next project continues, we'll see you later.